So the funny thing was, the person that I went to talk to on Traymore, the person next door is Karen from Senior Center back in the day. I don't know if you remember her. Yeah, she was super nice about it, but she's out there yelling too. She was like, they need no parking. Because her driveway's next, or needed adjacent too. And I was like, she goes, I'll talk to him. She was more so mad. Dude, just move that. Everybody likes the speed bumps. Speed bump. Can I please get one on Outlook that goes down that way, straight down Outlook, right after the school?
Okay, we'll call the Brooklyn City Council meeting to order. Dana, will you call the roll, please?
Sure. Aaron Borowski.
Here.
Evan Tansky.
Here.
Sue Grodick.
Here.
Stephen Coyle.
Here.
Andy Selhertz.
Here.
Matt Mosley.
Here.
Kathy Pucci.
Here. Will everyone please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This evening, we will have opening remarks by Councilman Selchertz.
I decided he was going to pass. Sorry.
Oh, okay, sorry. That's okay. I'll scratch it off. Okay, we have two sets of minutes to approve. The first is our minutes from our regular meeting of June 23rd, 2025. Any additions or corrections? Okay, we need a motion to approve, please.
Approve the minutes of June 23rd, 2025. Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Evan Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
The next set of minutes are from July 7th, 2025. We had a special meeting. Any additions or corrections? Okay, we need a motion to approve, please.
Approval of the minutes. I'm sorry.
Second.
Sorry. Approval of the minutes for July 7th, which was a special meeting. Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Evan Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Abstain.
Matt Mosley.
Abstain.
Thank you. I do want to mention that at the special meeting of July 7th, because we were out of regular session, we also recognized the passing of former longtime Councilman Tom Coyne, who had passed away, and also our retired police officer, Don Skip Hammond, who had passed away. Okay, at this time, we will have the first public session. If anyone in the audience has anything to say pertaining to a legislative item on the agenda, please step forward, state your name and address, and you will be recognized. Please remember to keep your comments to 5 minutes or less. Okay, seeing no one, we will move on. Oh. Is. Oh, sure, just a moment. So, is this better? Is it, okay. Okay, so your questions, do they relate to, just a moment, do they relate to a legislative item on our agenda this evening?
I have no idea. It has to do with those poles you put in the street.
Okay, so,
I can't even talk.
no, just a moment. So we have two public sessions. The first one, which is right now in the beginning of the meeting, is if anyone has any questions or comments relating to a legislative item on our agenda this evening. The second public session, you can say, make any comment you like or ask any questions. So we're just not there yet.
One question, is that limited to that 5 minutes to when it?
Yes.
On the floor? Okay.
Yes, 5 minutes per speaker. Yes, okay. We're also happy to speak with you after the meeting as well, so. Yes. Okay, let's, okay, we're going to stick to our agenda, so let us work through our agenda, please. Okay. Next, we're going to move on to reports of committees, commissions, and boards. The first one is the Committee of the Whole, and I'll provide the report for that meeting. We did meet earlier this evening at 6:15, and addressed everything on our agenda. Under notification, we have a fire department was awarded the Norfolk Southern Railroad Safety Grant for $15,000. This grant will be used for equipment that is on our utility vehicle, which is intended to reach areas of the city that can be difficult to reach by a new regular vehicle. We have 2 requests for council approval, granting a conditional use permit to Panda Express APD Engineering for a drive-through to be located at 1014 Brook Park Road, permanent parcel 433-16-002. This was approved by the Planning Commission on August 6th. Granting a conditional use permit to Culver's Kimley Horn Incorporated for a drive-through to be located at 5080 Tiedemann Road, permanent parcel 433-09-015, and this was approved by the Planning Commission on September 3rd. Under legislation, I'm going to go through the items that were recommended to adopt under suspension of the rules this evening. The first is Resolution 2025-20, which is a resolution assessing unpaid costs of abating nuisance and hazard violations of Section 521.14 of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Brooklyn. The reason for the suspension is we need to submit this by tonight to the county. We had 17 properties with high grass that the owners did not comply, so the city had to cut the grass. These charges will be added to their property tax bills, and the total is $2,700. Resolution 2025-21, a resolution extending a moratorium imposed by Resolution 2025-5 on the granting of building permits for any building structure, use, or change of use that would enable establishments that sell or distribute vape, unregulated cannabis, and tobacco sales in the city of Brooklyn, Ohio, until March 10th, 2026. The reason we're going to adopt it under suspension is because our current moratorium expires today. Resolution 2025-22, a resolution extending a moratorium imposed by Resolution 2025-6 on the operation of and the acceptance and processing or granting of applications for zoning, occupancy, and/or building permit approvals for adult-use cannabis operators in the city of Brooklyn, Ohio, through March 10th, 2026. And again, the reason for suspension of the rules is because our current moratorium will expire today. Resolution 2025-23, just a moment. We had a change in it. This is a resolution appointing a council member, a citizen, and an addiction specialist to serve on the Opioid Settlement Advisory Task Force and declaring an emergency. So the Committee of the Whole recommended that we amend it by inserting the council person who will serve on that task force, and that is going to be me. And then between now and our next council meeting, we're going to post the information that we are looking for a resident who has been impacted by the opioid crisis, and that they may be interested in serving on this task force. And we also need to look for an addiction specialist. Let's see, I'm just going to address the ones that we're suspending the rules for. Just a moment. Resolution 2025-26, a resolution appointing members to serve on the Youth Engagement and Succession, or YES Committee, and declaring an emergency. And we're going to suspend the rules this evening because we want to get this committee up and running. Ordinance 2025-16, an ordinance to approve the 2025 replacement pages to the Brooklyn Codified Ordinances and declaring an emergency. The reason for the suspension of the rules is we want the earliest publication and distribution of our new legislation. We want to get that to our vendor so they can incorporate it into our codified ordinances that are available online. Ordinance 2025-17, an ordinance amending Section 149.0 4.16 of the Brooklyn Codified Ordinances, maximum hours for part-time employees, in order to harmonize the language of that section within the city personnel policy manual and declaring an emergency. The reason for the suspension is because we want consistency between what is in our codified ordinances and what is in our city personnel policy manual. We restrict the number of hours that part-time staff can work because of the Affordable Care Act requirements relating to when we have to offer health care benefits to employees. So this update to our legislation will require that part-time employee hours, that they will not be scheduled to work more than 130 hours in a month on average, with a maximum cap of 1,500 hours between November 1st and October 31st this year. It stipulates that both the employee and their supervisors are responsible for compliance with this policy, and that should be that a part-time employee will not work more than the number of established hours. If this would happen, the mayor or his or her designee will investigate and determine the reason, and the employee, supervisor, or both may be subject to disciplinary action up to and including possible termination for a violation of this policy. There is a classification exception for the law director and prosecutor positions because those two part-time positions are eligible for the health care benefits. Ordinance 2025-18, an ordinance authorizing the updated capital improvement plan for 2025 and declaring an emergency. We need to suspend the rules so that we can have this actually in force, and that it also needs to go to our Board of Control for approval. So there's an increase of $140,000 to the Service Department vehicles, and also some increase to the Memorial Parks project relating to additional costs, additional work that was needed. I can go through quickly. It was relocate and install electric and water service to the new maintenance building, demo the old pavilion foundations. The contractor discovered larger than anticipated footers for the old pavilion foundations, which needed to be removed. The contractor discovered old outdoor pool walls and foundation while working to excavate for the new pavilion, and a change to the asphalt mixture for the sport court basketball. Additional contingency relating to potential costs when installing the new sanitary storm drain lines. So the total updated project cost is $3.3 million as compared to our initial budget of $3.1 million. However, overall for parks, we came in under estimate for both the dog park and Brock Playground earlier this year. Next is ordinance 2025-19, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Public Entities Pool of Ohio for the purposes of providing property and casualty insurance for the city of Brooklyn for the coverage period beginning September 25th, 2025, for a total annual cost not to exceed $238,439. The reason we're suspending the rules is our current policy expires on September 25th, and this also has to go before the Board of Control. This is a price increase of approximately $15,000 from what we paid this past year, and the increase is due to a 5% inflation guard added to building and property. And we did discuss at the Committee of the Whole, the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce is sponsoring a home days this September, and council has some discretionary funds that we're able to use for things that support the community. So city council will use some of those discretionary funds to use $500 to be a bronze sponsor. And that completes the report of the Committee of the Whole. I apologize that it's long, but this is our first meeting back since our summer recess. Next is the Recreation Board, and that is Councilman Tansky.
Thank you. Brooklyn Youth Basketball for grades 3 to 6, boys and girls for the winter season will run through November 2025 through March 2026. Weekend night practices and Saturday games. There will be an 8-game regular season plus playoffs. Volunteer coaches are needed. Let us know at registration if you can coach. Practices and home games to be held at Brooklyn Middle School Fieldhouse. Practices begin the week of November 3rd and games to begin December 2025. Volunteer coaches will manage teams and parents will be contacted in November by their assigned coach. Away games to be held at Middleburg Heights, Brook Park, North Olmsted, North Ridgeville, Columbia Station, Fairview Park, Westlake, and Strongsville. Register September 15th through October 17th at www.brooklynrec.com. Brooklyn Senior Center September events include Wednesday, September 10th, bingo with Avenue at 1 p.m. Thursday, September 11th, luncheon at 12 p.m. Chicken Caesar salad with garlic bread costs $6. Tuesday, September 16th, mystery lunch at 11:30 a.m. Costs $3. Registration is open. Wednesday, September 17th, ice cream social at noon. Free event, must sign up. Wednesday, September 24th, bingo with King David campus at 1 p.m. Thursday, September 25th, luncheon at 12 p.m. Burgers with potato salad cost $8. Please call 216-635-4222 to register. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Next is Domestic Relations Commission, Councilman Borowski.
Thank you, Council President. The next Domestic Relations Commission meeting is set for this Wednesday, the 10th at 6 p.m. All are welcome to attend. It'll take place at the meeting room at the back of the fire station. Also come and visit our table that will be set up at the Home Days event at the school on September 27th. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Next is the Board of Zoning Appeals and the Planning Commission, both from Councilwoman Grodig.
Thank you. There were several meetings while City Council was on summer break, so my report is also rather lengthy. The Board of Zoning Appeals met on July 31st. On the agenda was to approve a variance request from Freeman Builders for a setback to be reduced by 20 feet from the current 50 feet. So it is going to be 30 feet. And that is at 9900 Clinton Road. The Board of Zoning Appeals also met on August 21st for several items. The first was to approve a variance request to reduce the minimum rear setback from the required 35 feet to 31.5 feet at 4232 Brookway Lane. They also approved a variance request to build a garage less than the minimum required size of 440 square feet at 4232 Brookway Lane. And lastly, they approved a request at 4592 Sunset Oval to move a 12 by 15 foot shed to a new location. The next meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals will be September 18th, 2025 at 6 p.m. The Planning Commission met 3 times. The first time was on July 2nd to approve a preliminary site plan for Freeman Building Systems to add 53,000 square feet to a warehouse addition at 7700 Clinton Road. Also to approve a preliminary site plan for request also from Freeman Building Systems to add 10,000 square feet office at 9900 Clinton Road. We approved a preliminary site plan request from Barrington Consulting Group to build a primary residential subdivision at 3 different locations: 7476 Memphis Avenue, 8707 Memphis Avenue, and parcel 431-117-117 located on Rabbit Run Drive. And the last one from that meeting was to approve a request for a final site plan approval from Panda Express at 10814 Brook Park Road. The Planning Commission also met on August 6th. First 2 agenda items will sound familiar. After approving preliminary, the Planning Commission approved the final site plan for the request from Barrington Consulting Group to build a residential subdivision at 7476 Memphis Avenue and 8707 Memphis Avenue, and parcel 431-17-117 located on Rabbit Run Drive. Those are the townhouses that we have been talking about throughout the year. Also approved a final site plan from Freeman Building Systems to add 10,000 square feet of office to 9900 Clinton Road. Also approved the final site plan approval for Freeman Building Systems to add 53,000 square feet of warehouse at 77 Clinton Road. And the final site approval request to open a Culver's at 5080 Tiedemann Road. So those three projects are anxious to get started because within 5 weeks, we went through preliminary site plans to final site plans. We also approved the request for the drive-through at Panda Express that you've already heard about tonight at 10814 Brook Park Road. And then the Planning Commission met one final time on September 3rd to approve the request for a conditional use drive-through at Culver's, which is also on tonight's agenda for the City Council. The next Planning Commission meeting is scheduled to be October 8th at 6 p.m. That concludes my lengthy report.
Thank you. Next is School Board Liaison, Councilman Mosley.
Thank you, Council President. The school board has been very busy over the summer as well. Many improvements have been made and additions within the district. This includes the hiring of a new K-7 principal. I'd like to personally welcome Ms. Janet Kubisak to the Brooklyn City Schools Hurricane family. The Brooklyn Early Childhood and Family Resource Center had a little bit of a delay due to an HVAC system being delayed. That system has now been delivered and is awaiting install this month. The goal is to have the Early Childhood and Family Resource Center open for preschool students on September 29th, with a grand opening on October 4th. I will add that these dates and goals that they are goals, and hopefully that doesn't change. If they do, I'll be sure to inform you. The stadium complex renovations have been completed, and the main gym is the next big item to be finished. I've seen some photos, and it's essentially bare bones. Over the next few months, there will be some fast-paced changes with a target completion in December of this year. Superintendent Dr. Claris has a few coffee chats set up so you can meet and ask questions. The first is October 9th from 4 till 6 p.m., and the second will be October 18th at 9 a.m. These will take place in the Board of Education lobby. Lastly, I have a few dates to remember for upcoming events. This Thursday, September 11th, there will be a Hall of Fame induction ceremony at 6 p.m. in the auditorium. The very next day, Friday, September 12th, there will be a home football game with a recognition of the Hall of Fame, as well as a 9/11 memorial and Veteran and Safety Forces recognition. October 9th, the same day that one of the coffee chats are, there will be a 4th annual College and Career Resource Fair at the high school in the cafeteria. All are welcome to that. And the next school board meeting will be September 16th in room 173, starting at 6:15. Barring any setback, that should be the last one at the school. It will now be at the Resource Center where the old library used to be. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Next is the Connecting and Belonging Commission, Councilman Coyle.
Thank you. Good evening. The Connecting and Belonging Commission met twice over the summer. During those meetings, members continued their discussion on various ideas, with particular focus on researching holidays and national celebrations that are or currently not celebrated or recognized by the city. They also discussed how they can connect with various stakeholders within the community and leverage services to open new opportunities for our residents. In addition, the commission is considering the possibility of participating in this year's Home Days festivities. The next meeting of the Connecting and Belonging Commission is scheduled for Tuesday, September 16th at 6 p.m. in the City Hall Community Room. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on to reports of council, and this evening we begin with Councilman Borowski.
Thank you, Council President. It's obviously, I think, for myself and for others, it's very good to be back in the council chambers for the business that we're doing for the city. I'd like to wish the students of all of our schools, those included online and homeschooled, a well and wonderful school year this year. I'd like to also say thank you to all of our departments, Beat the Law, the building department, the senior center, the rec center, the police, everyone included that works for the city for all their wonderful efforts they put in this wonderful summer. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Councilman Tansky?
Thank you. Good evening. I hope all residents had a safe and fun summer. Welcome back to all city council members. Brooklyn Home Days will be held on Saturday, September 27th, starting at 12 p.m., fireworks at dusk, and Sunday, September 28th, 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. at the Brooklyn Stadium. There will be food trucks, music, games, crafts, and more for everyone to enjoy. See you all there. Also want to thank all our departments, especially the building department. I've been putting a lot of pressure and grief to them. I just want to thank Mr. Greer and his staff. I've been getting a lot of calls, and mostly it's directing towards the building department. So I just want to thank you for all your time and effort. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Councilwoman Grodick?
Thank you. First, I'd like to thank the residents who joined us for the Council in the Park evenings. It's a great time to speak with people on a more informal venue and to hear what you're most interested in. So thank you if you were able to attend one. And moving into fall, the odd number years are considered local elections. So a quick reminder that our local elections will include city council and school board this year. And election day is Tuesday, November 4th, with early election beginning October 10th. And along with that, I would like to let everyone know that there will be a candidates forum. It will be Wednesday, September 17th at 7 p.m. at the Senior Center, and it's open to all Brooklyn residents. We have 3 candidates who are running for for school board, and 5 candidates that are running for city council. All of the candidates have been invited, and I'm inviting all residents to also join us so we can learn more about the important representatives that represent your views as residents here on city council and also on our school board. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Coyle?
Thank you again, Council President. The summer moved by rather quickly. Welcome back to everyone here this evening and online later this week. I want to take a moment to thank the various department directors that I had reached out to on behalf of different residents' concerns this summer. Most recently, thank you to Marty Rini and the Service Department for responding within 24 hours to a resident's tree lawn tree complaint. We are very fortunate to have such a great team of service workers along with our safety forces. These dedicated people truly make a difference. Last week, a resident on Traymore reached out to me regarding the new chicane signage and or lack of signage. I am aware that these have been a point of contention in our community, and that is evident by the residents that are here to speak later tonight. I've heard both positive and negative feedback, and I'm sure the mayor will speak more about this during his report. But these new traffic calming devices were installed by a subcontractor who is not very detail-oriented. The mayor, along with our engineer, Mike Henry, are still working with the contractor to ensure that our standards are met. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Selchert?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Keep Brooklyn Beautiful ran this summer another home decorating gardening contest. The winners were 4374 Newberry, 4564 Winter Lane, 4723 Southwood, 4704 Summer Lane, 4742 Bentwood, 4576 Forest Edge, and 9812 Memphis Villas Boulevard. Thank you all that took the time to garden and also time to enter the contest is appreciated. Cleveland Restoration Society's Heritage Home Program is holding an in-person information session at the Brooklyn branch of the Cuyahoga County Public Library on September 18th at 5:30 p.m. across the street at 7619 Memphis Avenue. Congratulations to the service department, but also to the residents for increasing our recycling percentages last year in 2024. That went from 33.15% in 2023 to 36.45% in 2024. Of that 36%, 11% of all total waste was recycling and 25% is composting. As you've heard from other council members, September 27th and 28th is Home Days sponsored by the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce. On the first day, on Saturday, there will be a car show. Mr. Parker has been going traveling Ohio, handing out flyers to try to get as many vehicles here to participate as can. Last year, he had probably around 100 vehicles. Hopefully this year, there will be more. On Sunday, there will be a continuation of the big band blowout that is organized by Liz and Eric Dragney. There is a new band every hour. So please, if you can't make it Saturday, try to make it Sunday. Just sit down, relax, and enjoy some music. From my June 23rd report, and this is going to be quote, this past week, First Energy started working on Glencoe with the additional streetlights. It is for now one man in a truck. He's about halfway down Glencoe. Glencoe was only 4 fixtures. The lights are being added to existing poles. From there, the rest of the east side of Ridge from Delora to Trainmore will be done. A meeting has been scheduled for July 2nd for another area. An additional location list has been made up and submitted to get quotes. Well, Glencoe's still not done. We got a quote to pay, and we paid for 4 fixtures. They put up 3, said they're done with, but they never put up the 4th one, so we're arguing with that. For the rest of the streets, Delora is done. North Cliff is not even started. I have no reason why or how. Can't figure out their logic. Rest of the streets, consisting of Vandalia, Ira, and Traymore, need a few more fixtures to be added. 1 or 2 of them might need some tree trimming, but that's it's a horrible process, to say the least. We also have submitted to First Energy a list of another 17 additional fixtures to be placed throughout the city where there's existing poles. Very simply to say, I wish this whole process was easier, but considering who we're dealing with, it's not, and it just keeps on going. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Councilman Mosley.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, Brooklyn residents. I want to start off by saying that I hope that all Brooklyn residents had a joyous summer. Over the summer, I've been working hard getting the YES Committee up and going. You may recall at our last regularly scheduled council meeting, we amended the age limit from 14 to 13, and I was able to get so many young people in our city interested. I'm happy to report that we have enough interest from the youth to get this committee formed, and I can't wait for all of you to share your ideas and make Brooklyn a better place. Some of the potential members wanted to be here tonight, but were unable to make it. If you happen to be watching this, don't worry, there's still space if you want to join. Also, if you haven't heard, the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce is hosting home days. I'm not going to repeat everything that's already been said. I do hope that a lot of people come and enjoy it. If you want to plan your own visit their website, brooklynhomedays.com. I also want to thank the rest of council for agreeing to sponsor the event. I look forward to seeing the council members and residents there. And a huge thank you to the Chamber of Commerce for putting this together. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. I just have a couple brief items. First, on behalf of City Council, I'd like to offer our condolences to our Service Director, Mr. Verba, on the passing of his father, Mr. John Verba. And just a reminder, school's back in session. Please be aware of the school zones and also the limitations and restrictions on the right turn on red during certain periods. And please watch out for our students who are going to and from school, walking and biking. Just use a little bit of extra care, please. And the post-prom is looking for donations. They sponsor the fireworks for the senior class, which the fireworks are traditionally set off at the senior night football game. So they are looking for donations. Michelle Hilcu is the person who contacted us, and her email is mhilcu824@gmail.com. You could also contact any council member, and we could put you in touch with the right people. And that completes my report, and we'll move on to the report of the mayor.
Thank you, Council President. Council members, welcome back. Glad to have you back in chambers. And we've been very busy here this summer, so here's an update of what's been going on around town. The 2025 paving program included work on Idlewood South and Springcrest. That included resurfacing, base repairs, and sidewalk repairs. That work is completed. The project came in under budget. The Memphis and Tiedemann turn lane that we've been working on or trying to work on for the last 3 years is now completed as well. The I-480 and Tiedemann Landscaping Phase 2, the contractor has to come back out to replace some of the dead plants and redo some of the seeding. We hope to have them out here in the next upcoming weeks. The recreational facility planning for our current auditorium, the architect has the preliminary layout and the 30% design finished. We held the interviews with 2 construction manager at-risk contractors today, and we anticipate having a recommendation for that by September 19th. Preliminarily, it looks like that project is going to run starting around March of next year through January or February of 2027. And those dates are subject to change, but that's a rough estimate. We've been discussing the Brook Park Road row improvements that we've been attempting to have the businesses on the west side of the city complete. I'm happy to report that all of them have completed that work. The city did not have to expend funds for these projects, which means it doesn't have to go on the tax duplicate. There are still 2 properties that were waiting for their tree lawn grass to come in before they get their deposit back, but all the work over there has been accomplished. We worked on the western and eastern city entrances on Memphis Avenue. That work has been completed as well. They still have to maintain the area. There's some plantings that did not survive. They have to replace those, and also gateway signages at both the locations at the corner of Ridge and Memphis, as well as the Lindale entrance, will be part of the 2026 capital budget. The traffic calming practice that Councilman Coyle alluded to, Specialized has installed the speed tables, and the chicanes are almost finished. Letters went out to all residents in these areas earlier this summer discussing this and explaining what was going to go on. The installation of these chicanes has been a point of contention with the city and the contractor. I've spoken with them myself. I'm very displeased with how long it's taking to get everything completed. They're still not done. This was supposed to be done back in July or August. Mr. Henry is working with them to get everything completed. These are temporary, as I mentioned in the letter. A large complaint in that part of town has been speeding. It has been that way for years and years and years. And so the city is attempting to solve that problem. And so we are working with the contractor and these chicanes and our engineer to see that through. Again, adjustments will have to be made to these. I know, for example, the contractor put some of them in the wrong location, and that is on the contractor. I've spoken with them directly. They have to move them. Some of the signage hasn't gone up yet. They haven't painted yet. And hopefully you hear the frustration in my voice, because it's been very frustrating. We try to communicate with the residents, let them know what's going on, and then the contractor does not follow through. It is very frustrating. So we are actively trying to solve those speed complaints over there. The answer to the problem is not to do nothing, and so we are attempting to solve the issue over there. And again, the idea behind this was to see if these chicanes work on a temporary basis. We bought traffic devices that register what's going on with their speed, time of day, number of vehicles. They were placed on all those streets for several weeks at a time. We crunched the data. Our engineer did a traffic design over there for that. The idea is, once these traffic calming measures are put back in place, those data collectors will go back over there and test to see if they're successful. If they're successful, they will be made more permanent. What that permanency looks like will be determined by what our city engineer decides, along with our police chief. The idea over there is not to frustrate residents. It is to solve the speeding issue. We have heard these complaints. Chief Melky has been here for a lot longer than I have. This has been a massive complaint for years. And so we are attempting to solve it. Is it perfect? No, but that is what we're attempting to do. And as I mentioned, adjustments will be made as the project continues to move forward. The Cleveland Water Department is lining the water line on Ridge Road. As you can see by driving down Ridge Road, Phase 1 will be completed by the end of this year. That's from Memphis to Bidoff. Phase 2 will take place from Bidoff moving south. That will take place early in 2026 and should be completed by the end of the summer. That is a Cleveland Division of Water project. The city really has nothing to do with it. We just have to beg for information from them. The I-480 and Ridge off and on-ramp reconstruction, they have completed the off-ramp construction on the eastbound lane, the eastbound ramp. The westbound off-ramp is completed. The eastbound ramp is being worked on right now, and those will be finished by October. Then in the spring, they are going to do the on-ramps. And again, that's an ODOT project. They just tell the city what they're going to do. The dog park is nearly complete. It's 90+% complete. We're still waiting on a light pole and some final signage to go in. That's still outstanding. We do anticipate having a ribbon cutting and a grand opening at that park on Thursday, October 16th at 10 a.m. And this project also, I'm pleased to announce, came in under budget. Right now, the city is working on a master plan update. The survey that we're asking residents to complete went live this past week. The homepage for that is countyplanning.us/Brooklyn25. Also, the survey information will be in the newsletter that will hit residents' homes this week. I would encourage residents to either click that or go on that link or scan the QR code. The County Planning Commission has done a fantastic job of giving an update of where we stand on the 2020 master plan. There were 5 goals that were laid out in that, 37 action items, and the city has accomplished a large number of those. And that's attributed to the hard work of the folks up here as well as the support of the residents. And we don't want that plan to go stagnant. And so we are updating it about 5 years earlier than most plans get updated. And so that master plan was derived primarily from the responses of residents completing the survey back in 2019 and 2020. The new survey is out there. It's about 30 questions. Depending on how wordy you want to be, it should take you anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes. A lot of the questions are open-ended, so you can feel free to type in as much as you want to give us your feedback. We really want to hear from you. If you're not comfortable completing one online, there are copies available right here at the City Hall window service, or the receptionist window, and they're also available at the Senior Center. And those will be available. That survey will run through October the 17th. As far as the townhomes that Mrs. Grodick discussed a second ago, the developer has received their final site plan approval for all 3 locations. They are currently working with the Division of Water as well as the Sewer District to get those plans approved. Their hope is to break ground sometime this year. They will be starting on Memphis South, which is the area across from the Westbrook Apartments. They would like to have that access road completed this year, and then so that the builder can come in early next year and begin those townhomes. All total, there will be 62 brand new homes built in the city of Brooklyn. This is the first time that we've had any type of major building in the city in about 30 years. As on the hiring front, we have made a conditional offer to one police officer from the lateral list that was approved last year. We will also be giving another civil service test later on this year. We've also made a conditional offer to a firefighter to replace one of our firefighters who has retired. I want to thank Mr. Selhertz for his work on the lighting project. It has been a huge frustration for him. We speak several times a week about this, and First Energy is very frustrating to work with, but we're very grateful to have him to stay on top of this. And he's largely responsible for all the street lightings around the city getting replaced. And again, this is just like with the traffic calming. This is a work in progress. There's adjustments that have to be made. There's changes that have to be made. Unfortunately, with First Energy, we're at their mercy to get that done. And so, Mr. Selhertz, thank you for your work on that, and we look forward to seeing that progress continue. The senior grass cutting program wrapped up a couple of weeks ago. I've heard nothing but very positive remarks about the program. I want to thank Mr. Verba and his team at the service garage for successfully implementing that plan. Once again, it's been over a decade since we've had that service. And I think we had about 80 residents that were part of it this year, and I would anticipate that growing for next season. So, Mr. Verba, thank you for you and your staff for all that hard work. I had the privilege this summer to once again host community gatherings at our various parks around the city. I want to thank the residents who were able to attend those and to hear about what's going on about our city, and also ask questions. I know Mrs. Grodick talked about council in the park, and it is a very informal setting to be able to hear from residents, and so thank you for those who were able to attend. And then lastly, I was able also throughout the summer to meet with Dr. Claris on several occasions. This last time, he actually walked me through the building there, and Mr. Mosley is correct. The gym is basically a blank slate right now, but by December, he was kind of walking me through what it was going to look like. Very excited for the school to see these projects get completed, and also to open up the new pre-K building where the old library was. So a very busy summer, so good to have you back. Thank you. That completes my report.
Thank you. Thank you. And this evening, there are no director reports, so we'll move on to notifications. The fire department was awarded the Norfolk Southern Railroad Safety Grant for $15,000, and as I previously mentioned, this will be used to purchase equipment for the utility vehicle that we have. Under council approval, granting a conditional use permit to Panda Express /APD Engineering for a drive-through to be located at 10814 Brook Park Road, permanent parcel number 433-16-002, and this was approved by the Planning Commission on August 6th. Any comments or questions? We need a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Second.
To approve the conditional use permit for Panda Express EPD Engineering for a drive-through. Aaron Borowski,
Yes.
Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
Granting a conditional use permit to Culver's/Kimley Horn Incorporated for a drive-through to be located at 5080 Tiedemann Road, permanent parcel number 433-09-015, and this was approved by the Planning Commission on September 3rd. Any comments or questions? Okay, we need a motion to approve, please.
To approve a conditional use permit to Culver's Himley Horn Inc. for a drive-through. Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
And then in addition would be for City Council to approve, City Council being a bronze sponsor for Brooklyn Home Days, which is sponsored by the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce. Any comments or questions? We need a motion to approve, please.
So
And
moved.
this is from the council discretionary fund.
So moved.
Second.
To approve council being a bronze sponsor for the home days. Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Abstain.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
Okay, then we'll move on to legislation, new business. Resolution 2025-20, which is on first reading with a request to suspend the rules. A resolution assessing unpaid costs of abating nuisance and hazard violations of Section 521.14 of the codified ordinances of the City of Brooklyn, Ohio, and declaring an emergency. Any comments or questions? We need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
To suspend the rules.
Yes.
Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
To adopt, Aaron Borowski.
I think we need a motion to adopt too, because we didn't do our usual introduced by all, suspend the rules.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-21 on first reading with a request to suspend the rules. A resolution extending a moratorium imposed by Resolution 2025-5 on the granting of building permits for any building structure, use, or change of use that would enable establishments that sell or distribute vape, unregulated cannabis, and tobacco sales in the city of Brooklyn, Ohio, until March 10th, 2026, and declaring an emergency. Any comments or questions?
Introduced by all to suspend the rules.
Second.
Suspend the rules, Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
And then to adopt.
And to adopt, Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-22 on first reading with a request to suspend the rules. A resolution extending a moratorium imposed by Resolution 2025-6 on the operation of and the acceptance and processing or granting of applications for zoning, occupancy, and/or building permit approvals for adult-use cannabis operators in the city of Brooklyn, Ohio through March 10th, 2026, and declaring an emergency. Any comments or questions?
Introduced by all by suspension.
Second.
Suspend the rules, Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
To adopt, Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-23 on first reading, a resolution appointing a council member, a citizen, and an addiction specialist to serve on the opioid settlement advisory task force and declaring an emergency. So we're going to make an amendment to appoint the council representative, and as I mentioned in my committee, the whole report will add the resident and the addiction specialist at our next meeting. Any comments or questions? So we need a motion to make that amendment, please.
So moved.
Motion to amend to add Kathy Pucci as the council member.
To add Kathy, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say we need a second to that.
Second.
Right. We just had a second. Okay.
Yeah, Kevin.
All right. Sorry, to amend Resolution 2025-23 to add, to appoint Kathy Pucci as a member of council. Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
To adopt, I'm sorry, not adopt.
Yep,
We're not
not,
adopting.
we're going to hold off.
Right.
Resolution 2025-24 on first reading, a resolution requesting the county fiscal officer to advance taxes from the proceeds of the 2025 tax levies pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code, Section 321.34, and declaring an emergency. And this is so that we can begin receiving our property tax disbursements from the county beginning in early 2026. Resolution 2025-25, which is also on first reading, a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county fiscal officer. We submitted our tax bill earlier towards the beginning of July for 2026 to the Budget Commission. They approved it, and now we are accepting the amounts and rates that they approved. There will be no increase in our property taxes in Brooklyn for the city. That will remain at 5.9 mils. Resolution number 2025-26, which is on first reading with a request to suspend the rules. A resolution appointing members to serve on the Youth Engagement and Succession, or YES Committee, and declaring an emergency. And we have 5 members that we, who volunteered, and I hope I can get their names correct. Kalissa Schillinger, Corey Yankovitz, Lazarus Neves, Ryan Hilku, and Gideon Trank. And the reason for the suspension is so that we can get this committee up and running. Any comments or questions?
May I be recognized?
Yes.
A couple of things. I just realized that it says Corey. It's supposed to be Cora.
Cora, okay.
Cora. Lazarus is Nieves. That's his last name. And I just want to thank the youth that did reach out to be a part of this committee. It's not normal for somebody in the youth to be interested, so I appreciate all you guys volunteering.
Okay. We need a motion, please.
Motion to,
or-
sorry.
Go ahead.
Motion to, now I can't remember it. Motion
Introduced by
to
all.
introduce by all to suspend the rules.
Second.
To suspend the rules, Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
To adopt, Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
Ordinance number 2025-16 on first reading with a request to suspend the rules. An ordinance to approve the 2025 replacement pages to the Brooklyn Codified Ordinances and declaring an emergency. Any comments or questions?
Introduced by all to suspend the rules.
Second.
Suspend the rules, Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
To adopt, Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-17 on first reading with a request to suspend the rules. An ordinance amending Section 149.16 of the Brooklyn Codified Ordinances, maximum hours for part-time employees, in order to harmonize the language of that section with the City Personnel Policy Manual and declaring an emergency. Any comments or questions?
Introduced by all to suspend the rules.
Second.
To suspend the rules, Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
To adopt, Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-18 on first reading with a request to suspend the rules. An ordinance authorizing the updated capital improvement plan for 2025 and declaring an emergency. Any comments or questions?
Introduced by all to suspend the rules.
Second.
To suspend the rules, Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
To adopt, Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
And finally, ordinance 2025-19 on first reading with a request to suspend the rules. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Public Entities Pool of Ohio for the purpose of providing property and casualty insurance for the city of Brooklyn for the coverage period beginning September 25th, 2025, for a total annual cost not to exceed $238,439 and declaring an emergency. Any comments or questions?
Introduced by all to suspend the rules?
Second.
Suspend the rules, Aaron Borowski. Yes. Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
To adopt, Aaron Borowski. Yes. Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
Okay, at this time, we'll have our second public session.
Kathy,
Oh, I'm sorry.
sorry. Can we go back to the Culvers vote, just to make sure that we got it correct?
Culvers?
Culvers, just that we have everybody.
You were abstained.
No, Culvers,
For the drive-through?
for the drive-through.
Okay. You mean that everyone voted?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
I believe we missed a motion and a second. It just went straight to voting.
For Culvers?
For Culvers.
I don't know, do you have them checked off?
I can do it again.
Okay. So granting a conditional use permit to Culvers Kimley Horn Incorporated for a drive-through to be located at 5080 Tiedemann Road, permanent parcel 433-09-015, approved by the Planning Commission on September 3rd. Any comments or questions? Okay, we need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
To approve the conditional use permit to Culver's Kimley Horn, Inc. for a drive-through, Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we will have the second public session. If anyone in the audience has anything to say for the good and welfare of the city of Brooklyn, please step forward, state your name and address for the record, and you will be recognized. Please remember to keep your comments to 5 minutes or less.
Welcome, he's back. Good evening, everyone. Regarding our speed controls, nobody's given a solid answer regarding plowing. What's going to happen on these bumps? What's going to happen on these Chinooks or whatever? And I had stopped in Lakewood this summer to talk to some people that had the Chinooks, or what do you want to call them. One guy, "Yeah, don't bother me, but he's in the middle of nowhere." The other guy has them right in front of his house. And the way they're designed, he goes, "My daughter is blowing a tire out. Several friends have backed out and blowing tires out." So when you try to make these things permanent, try and make them user-friendly. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of unhappy people, which you already have. The turning lanes with all the water works going on. I complained a couple of times, went nowhere, but you're going northbound on Ridge, you come up to Memphis, I'd really like it explained why the left turn lane is blocked. All the lanes are going north are open with no problem. So you could have the left lane open to turn and alleviate some of the traffic. They finally closed the 2 lanes going north down to 1. Why they had 2 lanes going northbound, I was in 1 lane, the guy said, "Where the hell are you at?" I don't know, it had 2 lanes. I thought it was gonna open up. Supplies for me. I had mentioned also, because you put up these planter things, not the planters, but the signs that are like 5, 6 feet tall instead of 8 foot tall, right in front of the city hall coming down the hill eastbound. Those flowers are outgrowing some of the signage and a few other places. You know, I mentioned that in the beginning. Oh, it'll be fine. We're allowed to make an 8-foot sign, make an 8-foot sign. I think you mentioned this, the Ridge and Memphis sign where Wally's used to be, that's up and coming for next year. And, oh yeah, all the trees that, I guess, where the plane is. I mean, it's beautiful, the amount of trees. I'll be dead when they get big, but you got some of those trees are so close together, you'll be chopping down trees, in my opinion, so it's not overgrown over there. But I'm not a design engineer, no college degree. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kelly Crawl, 10523 Manoa Avenue. Election season is upon us, and in the city of Brooklyn, we have 4 open council seats and 2 open school board seats. I kindly ask residents to do their due diligence and attend meetings, ask questions, and fact-check any unsolicited emails or handouts they may receive. There is a Meet the Candidates night on September 17th, and I would urge residents to attend. Get to know your candidates before you determine who is qualified and deserves to receive your vote. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Richard Rowe. I live at 9683 Idlewood Drive. This is regarding the speed humps that you guys installed. My first business is I did confront the mayor in regards to the speed bump. That speed bump was not supposed to be located in front of my house. I came to you that morning and said that that speed bump had been moved to my house. I left for work on Monday morning. That speed bump was supposed to be up the road. It ended up in my front yard, and it's now there. You told me, you directed me to talk to the engineer, which I did, and basically, they were already moving down the street after our conversation in the morning in regards to that speed bump. That speed bump got placed in my yard. There was nothing I could do about it. You didn't give me enough time to tell you to move it one way or the other. I've installed those speed bumps. I'm a public worker as well, and I know what they make the noise. We still have traffic coming down that street. It's almost like it's for Jeeps. I got a Corvette. I'm not driving it down that street a million miles an hour, okay? But you have Jeeps coming down there, and it's like it's a off-road challenge. Those speed bumps are listed at 10 miles an hour, okay? It's a 25-mile-an-hour street, okay? I realize, I've been there 28 years. I realize, and I know this community very well. I know the chief before the chief. I know the Chief Bundy a long time ago. My father was raised here on Manoa, okay? So I know the city pretty well. So my question is to you, is not only I work for a city, I know how snowplows go over stuff because I've drove snowplows. You have not. That's in front of my house. All I asked for you is before it all happened and was going on, to at least get up and go out there and see what I was talking about. Let me have a voice. I pay taxes in the city, okay? And all I asked for you to do is to stop. And it was already too late. They put that speed bump in front of my house with the sign in front of my house. And I've seen tractor trailers come down that street with reefers going to the probably Mark's or that new food outlet or whatever's up the street. It had it was a semi truck. It was early in the morning, and they went over those things. I'm telling you, I'm not very pleased with that. You could have done better. I know you could have done better. You could have addressed me. Hey, give me that chance to say something. I come home on a Monday and see that on a Friday, it was all marked out where it was supposed to be. I got pictures of it. And it ends up in my front yard on that Monday morning. How am I supposed to get a hold of any city official? I called Councilman Kevin Tadansky and basically told him, hey, listen, what's going on here? I'm not happy with this. I put them in at my city, and I had residents telling me about the noise and the complaints about the trucks going over, the delivery trucks. I mean, you're not gonna stop Amazon. You're not gonna stop UPS. They're coming down our streets. And they do make noise as they go over these bumps. Our snowplows, what about our snowplows? Am I gonna listen to this all night long? These are permanent. The ones that I have put in my city, there's 4 tables in 2 years, are removable, okay? I feel that you should have done a little bit better job. And I did not have a chance. I did not have a chance to say, hey, I didn't want them. You move them down the street, down the street. Now, when I talked to Mike Henry, I says, well, I got a speed table coming. It's here. They're already digging in the asphalt. It's here. And I know progress with cities. There's protocol. Everybody has protocol. I've done heating and cooling all my life, all right? If I come out to your house and I place an air conditioner alongside your neighbor's window and it keeps them up all night and they have to hear that compressor, and your inspector comes out and says, that can't be there, it was supposed to be over here. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't supposed to be where it is. I have the map. You have the map. You never gave me enough time to rebuttal telling you I didn't want it there. Is that fair to me as a resident? And I did express this concern to Kevin in regards to this. So I'm sure you know about it. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you.
My name is James E. Mitchell. I live at 6500 Ira Avenue, and I've been living there since 1987. When we used to have traffic, the kids were really small back then. And traffic's flying by. I used to sit on my front stoop and watch 100 cars go by before dinner, right? So what would you do? People got together, signed a petition, got rid of the stoplight, solved the problem. Now the traffic still comes down there, and you guys put these chicaneries, that's what they're called. They ain't slowing nobody down. You know who they slow down? I stand out there and laugh. The little old people, the older people, they slow down, creep around there, and that's it. Them young folks, man, you gotta be kidding. That ain't slowing down nobody. If you want to make a lot of money, have one of our, lovely police officers. He says he knows that cat right there. Well, go ahead. Put a guy there every now and again, or a whole bunch of times. Or hire another police officer. Him writing tickets right there on the corner of Pelham and Ira, you'll make a ton of money. It'll cover his salary and his benefits. Trust me, I see them guys going through stop signs over there all the time. I'm just saying, I'm not telling you what to do, or anything like that. And how come you don't come by my house no more?
I was there.
No,
You weren't
that wasn't.
There's no back and forth right now. You can answer after.
No, it's all good. I'm just asking. I remember you, and I remember him, and everybody else here is kind of new. Is new. I don't know anybody, but I've been here since '87. I'm not a cat that wants to complain about nothing, but those poles are not. That's not the answer. No way. There's no way. And I know they're probably removable for the winter time. That makes sense. But and then people park on the street. There's an accident waiting to happen. I'm surprised there hasn't been one already. But you can't have nothing blocked. That street's narrow enough already. When you're coming from like Ridge to, heading towards Pelham, I believe that's east. Yeah, if you don't, get over and let the people that are coming, you let them go by, and then, then you slide back onto the street. But you can't have, that's not going to work. I'm just saying, I don't know how much money you guys spend on that, but that is not a good idea. It's just my opinion, but I stand there, I find it humorous. And then here's another one. I got a nice tree on my tree lawn. I got a telephone pole that they finally put a light bulb in. I didn't even know there was a light up there. After 30 years. I lived there for 30 years. I said, man, I didn't know there was I come out there one night, I go, damn, man, this is lit up like a Christmas tree. Yeah, and a fire plug right on my tree lawn. And they put the sign for that chicanery right behind the tree. You can't even see it until, you get right to my driveway. I mean, you see those poles way before that. So that's not a good idea. If you want to have a sign there, I don't really care. Take it 10 feet off my neighbor's house on the other side of the fire plug, and then you can see it. But if you go over there right now, I'm telling you right now, because I called up the garage, I said, hey man, which one of you rascals, I didn't want to call them no names. I said, well, who put the sign in front of the tree? Well, we didn't put it there. I said, well, you got to move it, man, because nobody can see that sign. I started laughing. He goes, well, you gotta wait till they put those chicaneries out there and catch them and tell them. I said, well, by the time I got up in the morning, man, they were already done. All I'm saying is, those are not going to work. I truly don't believe it because there ain't no cars slowing down. As soon as the people that come up and down that street all the time and use that for a thoroughway to Ridge Road or vice versa, they go around that thing like it ain't even there. So I'm not one to complain. Like I said, I've been here since '87. Everything's been pretty cool. It's all right, But
Okay,
come
thank
on,
you.
man. That's all I got to say is that is not gonna work.
Okay, thank you.
That's all. And you guys all have a good day.
Thank you very much for coming.
And you did too. Thank you for paying attention. And by the way, let me say one last thing. Those poles and stuff is right by my driveway, so I know you're gonna have to pass it on to somebody else, but I don't want to have to deal with it because I'm getting older. I don't have to be running into stuff because stuff is there that ain't supposed to be there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Good evening, Council. Karim Mazruni, 4711 Rodone Road. Here to talk about the Home Days celebration. Thank you for everyone that brought it up. September 27th and 28th. The Brooklyn Home Days is back. The Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce is sponsoring the event at the Brooklyn School Stadium. We have a parade starting at 12:30 at the high school. That's going to be led by our wonderful marching band. It's going to go down Bidoff, turn left on Rodone, and right to the stadium. We're going to have bands all day Saturday and all day Sunday. Sunday is going to be the big band blowout by Eric and Liz Dregney. They're going to be hosting that. We have the awesome car show that Wally Parker's putting together from 2 to 6 on Saturday. We're going to have food trucks, vendors. We're going to have Recess, Cleveland Recess, which is a wonderful inflatable and bouncy house for the kids. We're going to have raffles, baskets, and a lot more. I want a special thank you to the City of Brooklyn, City Council, Brooklyn Police Department, Brooklyn Fire Department, and especially the Brooklyn Schools for hosting the event for us at the stadium. And then we have some wonderful premier sponsors: Grocery Outlet, Medical Mutual, Dollar Bank, Raising Cane's, the Floor King, Emerald Animal Clinic, and many more. So I want to thank you guys for the opportunity to speak about it, and I hope to see you guys there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Katie Rankin. I'm at 4181 Ivywood Drive. I have lived in my home since 2006. I love my house. We take very good care of our property. I am the chicken lady. I know you've all seen my emails and the whole debacle we had this summer. So we got our chicks at the end of February after I had checked on Google to see if Brooklyn residents could have chickens. Google did say yes, we could, up to 6, no roosters, enough space, so we went ahead and got them. We're completely bonded with them. They have first and middle names. We know each of their personalities. What harm can chickens cause? We've had several residents over to our house, and they were overly impressed with the cleanliness of our run, no smell, and how quiet our chickens were. Most dogs are louder than our chickens, and I know this for a fact. People speak that chickens will bring more predators. There's always going to be skunks. There's always going to be possums. I have never personally seen a coyote in the 19 years that I've lived here in Brooklyn. If a select number of people are concerned about coyotes attacking chickens, they most definitely will come after small dogs, and there are plenty of dogs around Brooklyn. If the chickens are secured in their coop at night, there is no fear of them getting attacked. I do believe that it's unconstitutional to say what we taxpayers can have on our land, as long as it's not hurting anyone and the chickens are taken care of, they're safe, and they're secure. Every day, all day, our children would announce, "I'm going to check on the girls." They loved having them back there. We all did. They brought us so much laughter and happiness. My husband, who is reluctant about the whole idea, has spent countless hours building not one coop and run, but 2, since we were forced to move them, but we still wanted to see them every day. My husband, a Marine, loves spending time with our girls. After a long, hard day at work, we would all go outside in the evenings and sit and interact with the chickens. It is very therapeutic, and they are so humorous. They are like our therapy pets. There is no legal or scientific definition that prevents a chicken from being a pet. Keeping chickens as pet involves different consideration than raising them for meat and eggs. Pet chickens receive more individual attention and specialized care, which ours most definitely do. I know many of you think that if a few families are allowed to have chickens, you'd have to increase the police force and the animal control's time, but why? If they're secured in their yard, there is no need for all of that. If chickens are permitted in Lakewood, Lindale, and Cleveland, why can't we have them here? All it would take is just for 4 of you just to say, okay. It wouldn't be for everyone. Obviously, it would be for a small group of residents. They would need the permit, enough space, and to properly maintain the coop and the run, and to make sure the chickens are taken care of and healthy. After walking around in our 2-week time span to gather signatures for our petition in the 90-degree heat as a family, 90% of Brooklyn residents we were able to speak with were for our petition. If over the years this chicken topic has been brought up, why not give the residents what they want? I notice all over on the highways and right over here in your room it says Brooklyn moving forward together. Well, let's do this. Let's move forward together. Give chickens a chance. Thank you.
Wally Parker, 7411 Meadowbrook. I was just curious what happens to the deer calling program that they were supposed to start, because the St. Thomas More neighborhood is just overrun by them things. It's really bad, and they're getting braver and braver all the time. Thank you.
Cindy Whitey, 4164 Springcrest Drive. Good evening and welcome back. I just wanted to mention, I know it's only September, but in just a little over 90 days, we're going to be going into the holiday season. Last year, I was slightly disappointed, as in the past, I've lived in the city for 43 years, and generally during the start of the holiday season, Memphis Avenue, between City Hall, the Senior Center, the Rec Center, and so forth, was lit up with holiday lighting. Last year, unfortunately, I know that we did have a Christmas tree lit in the lobby over here, but unfortunately I didn't see any holiday lighting, Christmas lighting, anything at any of these points. I feel that last year would have been a great year to do that, to showcase our new beautiful City Hall with lighting displays and displays on our lighting poles and so on and so forth. So I'm just asking and maybe planting a seed that we start to consider for this year, for the holiday season, to perhaps decorate and light up our city, especially on Memphis Avenue. Thank you.
Does anyone else have anything to say for the good and welfare of the city of Brooklyn? Okay. I can answer on the Christmas decorations, and if the mayor wants to add anything. I think most of us received complaints from residents about that, and it's my understanding we are planning for more decorations in this area. I think one of the issues was that there wasn't, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, but there wasn't a lot of electrical, I don't know if you call it outlets or something, directly over here in front of the City Hall. Yeah, so there was nothing added in there for that, but we are planning on having decorations. I don't know if you wanted to add anything on that, Mayor, or not.
No, they've already been ordered. They'll be
Right.
up.
Did you want to respond to?
I can respond to a few of them. I did meet with Mr. Rowe, and we spoke right out here in the lobby, and I did defer him to Mr. Henry since he's the engineer. And Mr. Henry came back to me. I understand that you're frustrated that you don't like it in front of your property. I respect that, but there are 4 of them. I defer to the engineer for where they're supposed to go. I don't know the details of moving it back and forth on that, but at the end of the day, Mr. Henry is the expert in this, and so that's where they were installed. They have to be installed in front of someone's home, or they're not going to be able to be installed at all. I know that you're not going to like that answer, but that is what it is. As far as the chicanes go, they are temporary, as you mentioned. They may or may not work, as I said in my report. Well, you know, everyone has their opinion. The engineer seems to think that they will, but as I mentioned in my report, we are going to see if they work. If they don't work, then we will pivot to try to do something else. Solving a problem is not always as easy as just, and everyone's not always pleased, but that's what we're trying to do. Speeding is a problem on those streets. It has been for years. It has been on Idlewood for years. We receive, every single person up here on this council has received complaints from speeders over there in both of those locations, and we're trying to solve the problem. And so that is the goal behind it. If they do not work, as I mentioned, then we will pivot and we will do something else. Mr. Crom, thank you so much for coming up here. I know you have put a ton of work into this Home Days. We met a while back on that, so thank you for putting this together for the city. Mr. Parker, as far as the deer calling goes, it was not part of the 2025 budget. So what we've done is we are working with the United States Department of Agriculture, and if council approves it in our budget in 2026, we will be doing a deer calling in the first quarter of next year, January to March. That is the plan. But that'll be part of our capital, or part of our budget discussions that we have here in October. And so then once we have that plan, if council approves it, It will be something that's ongoing, depending on what the United States Department of Agriculture dictates, along with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources. So they will be the ones that are doing the actual program in partnership, of course, with the city. We do recognize that it's a problem. I agree with you. They are getting more aggressive and more comfortable around humans, and it is a problem. All the cities around us just about do it now, and so I think they figured out that Brooklyn doesn't, so they're all coming here. All right, so they're pretty smart animals. But yes, to answer your question, the plan is to do it in the first quarter of next year.
And if I could just add on the issue Mr. Mitchell brought up about the sign is behind the tree, that's all going to be changed, that's going to be corrected. We were aware of that, and that is going to be corrected.
There's, and I, respect Mr. Mitchell, the frustration with it. I have been over there, I cannot tell you how many times on that street, on those streets over there, expressing my frustration. Ultimately, it falls back on me because we're the ones that choose the contractor. If I could get out and move the sign myself, I'd do it. But there's a lot of issues that we've had with those. Even on Idlewood, it took them forever to put up the permanent signs, and they put the permanent signs off and left the temporary ones there. So there are going to be adjustments that are made. It is new, and I recognize that. That's why I sent that letter out. I think it was in June. Explaining what was going to go on, and we will adjust until we get it corrected, until it is right.
Yes, we already know that, and there's no back and forth right now, but we're happy to talk to you after the meeting. Does anyone on council have anything further, or the mayor, any directors?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
No disrespect to the mayor has been working hard to slow this traffic down. I just want to let everybody know, I've been walking the streets pretty heavy. Number one thing that I'm hearing is the speed. I've walked plenty of these streets. Some of them come down these streets at 50, 55 miles an hour, and I'm not exaggerating. When I look around, and I'm walking to a door, and I look around, I see a flicker of light. That's how fast they're moving. Residents have told me repeatedly, Mr. Tansky, you've got to do something with the speed. The mayor has done everything he can to try to slow it down. There's a lot of stuff that I don't agree with. I live in that area with those chicanes. There's things on those chicanes I do not agree with. I have talked to Mr. Greer, our engineer. I said, look, I've never seen a chicane as an obstacle course. It's going to be hard for the plows. They're going to come down with thousands of pounds of snow on that blade. That blade is going to push those things right over. I get it. A chicane is supposed to be opposite of the other chicane. That is a chicane. I don't know where we got with the obstacle course. I don't get it. So I asked Mr. Greer, can we move one chicane to be opposite of the other? Get one of our service trucks in between those chicanes and get the distance we should move from curb to one side to curb to the other side. If a plow can go through the middle of the chicane, so will our safety department will be able to move through with their fire engines if an emergency. So I don't agree with the obstacle course. I do not. Chicane is supposed to be across from each other. If there's ones like that, I sure don't see them, and I drive 200 and 250 miles a day, 1,000 miles a week, and I don't see that kind of application. Second thing, those speed tables. Speed tables, I always believe they should be the speed limit of the street. They should not have somebody run down 10 miles an hour and then have to go back up to 25. If the speed is 25 on that street, those speed tables should be 25. That theory came from Cleveland. Cleveland's got these speed aggressive bumps that you'll break your car right up. If you hit it at 20, you'll break it up. If you hit it at 15, you'll break it up. So I don't agree on speed tables being passed unless they're 20, being put up, I should say, unless they're 20, 25 miles an hour of the street. And even at that, when you're going over those, you are moving that front end, those ball joints in that thing at a rate of speed. You are breaking the front end of that car up. Those ball joints and those tie rods are taking a hit. There's no doubt about it. People believe if the speed limit's 25, I can do 25. You can't, not over those bumps. I'm not blaming the mayor. He's doing his best to try to slow this traffic down because that is the number one complaint that I'm having. When those chicanes were put up, first call I got was from my wife. She was coming home from work. How am I supposed to go through that? You got a parked car on the opposite side of that chicane when she was mirror to mirror from that thing to those poles. Now, I understand we're going to put parking signs up so they don't park. I don't know why they would park there, but they still did. They've been parking there for years. The chicane went up. They're still going to park there. She says, what are you doing? I can't get down the street. That's how close. She had to run her car between those chicanes and that parked car. So I did express that to the mayor. Supposedly we're going to get no parking signs on the opposite side of those chicanes. That's why I think chicanes should be on the opposite side of another chicane. This way there is no parking on the side of it. You have a dead center of those chicanes measured out to the plow of that truck. And that's the way other cities do it. I watched them. They took the plow of that truck, they went in the middle of those chicanes, and they measured from that point as the plow sits there, so there's enough room for that blade to go through those chicanes. That's the way they should be done. I've watched them do it. So there's going to be after more thinking process of this out. The mayor said they've been temporary. He's tried his best. I agree with him wholeheartedly trying to slow this traffic down. We got plenty of residents with small kids, and I see them whip down the street, and those kids are at the edge. It's only going to take one time for them to wipe them out, and I see it coming. So people have to slow down. I mean, they really have to slow. It was 30, 35 is too fast. It ain't that no more. God, I was walking Rodone the other day, and they're flying. So eventually, we're going to have to add more speed devices in some of these streets because the residents are asking for it. Mr. Tansey, you've got to slow this traffic down one way or the other because it's getting worse. So I get it. I get your complaints. Let us tweak through these chicanes. The speed bumps is another issue because they're permanent down there. I don't know what we're going to do with that. But again, my opinion, again, it's 25 miles an hour, 25 mile an hour speed bump. That's the way it should be. So be easy on us. Be easy on the directors. Be easy on the engineers. They're trying. They're not trying to hurt you in any way. They're not trying to make your life miserable. We're trying to do what we can to make the city safe. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Anyone else on council? Okay, we need a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second.
To adjourn, Aaron Borowski.
Yes.
Kevin Tansky.
Yes.
Sue Grodick. Yes. Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Stephen Coyle.
Yes.
Andy Selhertz.
Yes.
Matt Mosley.
Yes.